Hello, Internet. I'm Matt.
And I'm Monster Punter.
And this is the Parallax Scrolling Podcast, where we give you our perspective on video games and the news that affects them. But not this week, because there's really not a whole lot of news. Like news, you know. But, yeah, we have some interesting stories to share, and we do have something we do want to talk about. But before we do, how was your week?
Uneventful.
That good?
Yeah.
Good.
Actually, it is. Just, playing more Trails, getting through that. Playing Aliens Fireteam Elite because it was free on PlayStation. With a friend. And, I went out, played some arcade games, did some stuff, had a good time.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've had a rather exciting time, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I actually, and I got to do this last night, I beat Loop Hero.
Oh.
Finally beat it. And it's like, beat it as in the terms of like, I beat Hades.
Oh.
Like, I got the and in quotes.
But it keeps going.
You have the opportunity to keep going. And I think the one thing that happens is every time you do a run and you go up against a certain boss and you beat that boss, there are up to 3 scripted events that happen each time.
Okay.
I beat the final boss once. So I'm assuming there's at least 2 more conversations with this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun enough game. I'm glad I played it, and I might go back to it to try and get those other 2 endings.
Okay.
Or not endings, but dialogues. But yeah, I think it's time to move on to something else. I don't know what yet. Hopefully I'll have an answer by later tonight. We'll see. But yeah, I've been doing that. I played some more Monster Hunter on my phone. Got to fight the Black Diablos because that was the event this last weekend. That was cool. Oh, I also did this a little bit further back because it's been a while. I beat Wario Land 3.
Oh, did you?
I did. And there's no reason to try and 100% that thing.
Why? Because Nintendo doesn't give you achievements or anything anyway.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the ending at all. But it was funny because I ended up talking with that one dude, our commenter, that one dude. I was talking with him a little bit. And we agreed, we forgot to add this comment when we were talking about backtracking in video games.
Oh.
So Wario Land 3, this is the main mechanic. You don't die. There is no health. You just get hit, and sometimes getting hit changes the effect of Wario. Like, he'll get turned into a ball of yarn or a zombie or, something, and it affects how he moves and does stuff. And that's intentional because there's a lot of puzzles on how to get from point A to point B. However, a lot of the times there are rooms where you're like, oh, I need to get the key to the chest at the top of this tower. I am about 2 jumps away from getting the key, and this enemy hit me and turned me into a ball that took me all the way down the tower.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of backtracking sucks. And that was what we came to an agreement on. We both agreed that type of backtracking is terrible.
Well, it's just to me, it's still not as bad as the classic Castlevania. You get hit and you get sent back like a block, and you fall into the water, and you're just it's just annoying.
But that's something that's actually like semi-avoidable. But this, like, getting hit in Wario Land, I'm not talking like you move like down to the bottom of the room you're in. You go all through the screens, all the way down to the bottom. So I'm traveling like 4 or 5 screens, and that's just annoying.
Okay, well,
so I haven't seen anything on the like any questions from or comments from our wonderful viewers to really talk about this time, especially not from last episode, because I'm going to get that again in a second. But if you guys do have questions about video games or anything like that, or you just want to communicate with us, please feel free to do so in the comments of this video. And
we'll bring it up in the next one.
Yeah, and if you're you're new to this and you actually like the two of us rambling and being idiots, please feel free to subscribe and know when the next video is going to come out. Hopefully, we'll try to get them back on time once the new year hits. But it's story time. Okay, so from last episode, you heard that I was sick. I did not find out till after we recorded that I got COVID.
Again.
I got the big sick. Yeah. Well, I got the special variant. You know, we got to use all the big fancy words. But yeah, I got the special variant this time around, and I got sick, and that's what I was sick with. And I didn't know that, and I ended up infecting my whole household. Yay, me. Now, what you don't know, the day after we finished recording, and I'm not kidding, this is literally the day after we finished recording, my computer blew up. It actually, it died. It utterly, my motherboard fried. And so that's why it took so long to get the last episode out. Got it out just in time for Thanksgiving, and hopefully we're getting this one out in time for Thanksgiving. If we do, cool, bonus. Happy Thanksgiving either way. But yeah, so I had to practically rebuild my computer. I got to keep some stuff, but not everything. And I got to keep my hard drives. My hard drives are actually safe from corruption and damage. But the big problem was that my C drive, that was my bootable drive from the old motherboard, for whatever reason, still can't figure this out, was not being recognized on the new motherboard. So I had to get an extra drive to become the new C drive. And most of my programs that I used to edit and upload and everything else that that had my life on it were all on the old C drive. And so I had to transfer data, and I had to hunt and find the right programs and program data, because some stuff transferred but wasn't working. So I ended up having to re-download stuff. It was a mess. It's taken a long time. Good news is that it actually runs faster.
Good.
It does run faster. I booted up my editing software today even, and it was like, normally I have to sit there and I have like a few minutes to like collect my thoughts, look at my phone or whatever while the program boots up. Nah, it took it like 10 seconds. Bloop. I was like, oh, nice. So hopefully getting these edited and out will happen a little faster.
And
so we'll see.
It should.
But yeah, and if I'm going to be taking them out of the recording, but if you hear me cough for some reason, like it's in the middle of a conversation and I can't edit it out, please note it is not the big sick this time. It is allergies. You know what I found out I'm allergic to? Dead leaves. I'm allergic to dead leaves. I'm surrounded by dead leaves. This sucks.
I guess I'm a dead leaf. Absent.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you kind of led me there. So yeah.
Absent in his story is I kind of put it together for him. The computer.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I said we.
Yeah.
I was more talking to the audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, we put it together, and so yeah, it was a fun time, and it sucks. I'm trying to get back to using my computer. It's not only that I'm trying to get back to using my computer, I'm trying to get back to feeling like I can use my computer. Like there's like this feeling behind it. It's weird. But anyhow, I ended up having not a whole lot of time, game-wise, to go back to other things. Like, it'd be nice if before the end of the year I could finish Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, we'll see about that. But and there's other games. I did. I already own it on Steam, but I decided to download it because it was on Game Pass. I downloaded Neon Abyss. It is a roguelite that is, how's the best way to say it? A Greek pantheon dungeon that's theme is 80s discotheque.
Oh, gosh.
It is full of neon. It is full of spray paint and stuff on the walls. And you run around fighting all these monsters, collecting loot, building your gun and your upgrades. And you're just trying to survive. And it's interesting. It's always been a fun game for me. But yeah, it's it's a fun one to go back to. So if you haven't played Neon Abyss and you like roguelites, give it a shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other big stories we got to talk about? Not like news-wise. I'm talking like in our lives-wise. Because, I mean, this is kind of like our breather week because it's the week of Thanksgiving and there's really not a whole lot newsworthy to talk about. Not stuff that's like there's some news stories, but they're looking at them. I'm like, man, these are not worth talking about. But you got any other stories you want to share?
No, I don't have anything else right now.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Hey, it's Thanksgiving, or going to be Thanksgiving very soon for us. Let's talk about thankfulness.
Okay.
You got anything you're thankful for? Like, let's just start video game wise. You got anything thankful? You got anything you're thankful about for video games right now?
I'm thankful that my backlog is continuing to grow.
I always have something to do.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, don't tell me. Don't remind me. It's the list keeps growing and growing. And Last Faith came out on the 17th.
Yep.
And I've been talking about that one, and I've been excited for that one. And it's like, yes, I can finally buy it, but I can't because I got to save up money for all the Christmas presents I got to get this year. So, I think I'm thankful this year was so exciting for video games.
Oh, there's so many good games that came out.
There's so many good games this year. And I'm just very thankful for that because we did have a couple, there were a couple years there where you're just kind of like, when's the next good game coming out? Please give me something.
2024 is shaping up to look pretty good too.
You know what? That makes me even more excited. I'm also you know what I'm also thankful for? I'm thankful I don't have to talk about the acquisition of Activision Blizzard anymore.
Actually, you may not be done with that.
Shut up. Don't say no. I don't know.
There is still one pending thing from the government against the merger, and they can break it up post-merger.
Why you?
I don't know the particulars. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I didn't research it at all.
This is the holidays. We're supposed to be talking about happy stuff.
I just know that that's actually a thing. I'm thankful that we can even make these.
Yeah.
I mean, our audience is small.
But they love what we do, and we are very grateful for that.
I hope we bring some opinions that are a little bit different than the rest of the industry.
I think so.
I hope that maybe we offer something that you don't hear other places.
Yeah. And if you do, our voices are better, so, you hear it.
My voice. I don't know why you guys listen to me. My voice is terrible.
Yeah. Well, you know what else I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for you.
Oh, you shouldn't be.
I know, but I am. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for you for doing this with me. Sorry, I'm getting a cough. I'm thankful for you for doing this with me. I'm thankful for all your assistance and just trying to find new things to talk about, as well as, again, obviously helping with the computer, but stuff, technical stuff too. It's nice that I can count on you.
Oh, well, I feel exactly the same.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yay. You know what?
We haven't been friends for over 20 years for no reason.
25.
Has it been 25?
We old.
Oh, yeah, it has been 25.
Yes, it has been 25.
Jeez.
Fun. I kind of want to talk about this now. Might as well talk about it on the podcast. It might be fun for our 2-year anniversary, because I know, for our 1 year, I did that little mashup of our audio clips. Maybe we should play something together.
Yeah, sure.
And actually make a video of that. Even if it's not actually correlated to the podcast, like something like a side video or something.
Sure, that'd be fine.
I know exactly what we can play.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Never mind. I have a suspicion right now. I don't know what game it would be. I just know what he wants to do, possibly.
No. No, not what you're thinking.
Smooth jazz?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that actually, we could do that. We could learn to play smooth jazz.
Oh God.
We could learn to play smooth jazz on Segways.
Oh gosh. Jeez, kill me now.
You know what? I can even try to get a hold of all my game dev friends and be like, hey, we need to make My Little Pony ride
Oh
along.
my gosh. The game that doesn't exist.
It will. We're gonna make it exist. But seriously, thankful for all these things. We're also thankful for you guys. I know we said that, but just kind of hit that home. We are really thankful for you guys. We're thankful for you for listening and being supportive of us, communicating with us. All the, literally you check off every box.
Yeah.
You guys are a fantastic audience. We're just grateful for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Let's hop on our segue and let's do something. What do you got?
Okay, I didn't bring this up at all, so this is going to be kind of out of the blue. It just
Yay!
I was thinking a couple of videos I've watched this week. I don't remember who they are from exactly, but they were talking about Steam and the fact that people are okay with Steam and what they do. And when you compare it to other things. So, for instance, the whole reason I bring this up...
Because Epic Games isn't as big a deal as Steam. And
I admit the Epic Games Store is not as robust and refined as Steam.
It's not.
Steam's store is simply better. I mean,
Right.
there's no sugarcoating it. Steam does a better job there.
You know what's also funny? When I was transferring all my data over for my old drive to my new drive, I noticed that I have EA Origins, and I didn't transfer that.
I don't even think that exists anymore.
I don't know if it does, but if it does, I don't want to use it.
But so one of the things that was brought up in particular that I have to take issue with is the whole idea that Steam takes a 30% cut of every game sale. And the people that I was listening to, they were saying, we're okay paying the 30% because Steam gives us so much. And here's my problem with it.
Okay.
Number one, you pay the same amount for it. Let's assume it's a brand new game.
Mm-hmm.
You pay the same amount on Steam as you would on Epic.
Right.
Bar none. You as a gamer are not paying any more money. So when I hear the argument that, my 30% or my cost, that 30% charge is going toward everything that Steam does and making it better, you're not paying that. That's the developers who are paying that. The developers are paying the 30%, not you. You're paying the same amount no matter what. The developers are the ones that are paying the 30%.
And that brings into play a very good point considering what has been happening with Unity the past several months and what's going to happen starting the new year and all the new Unity-based games that come out because they're going to have to pay fees for that.
Sure.
So it's the developers are making even less money.
Yes.
Going forward.
Yes. Here's my biggest issue with the whole thing. And let me be perfectly clear that I apply this logic to any store that charges 30%. Okay? I'm talking about Steam because that's the context everything was brought up around. The developers can make less money than the platform that's hosting their game. Steam just has to host their game, and they make a ton of money off of them. And these small developers, after you pay for all your costs, pay your people that have to be in there, all your overhead, you have to pay the Steam tax of 30%. You have to pay Epic or Unity their tax for using their development tools and everything all down the line. And at the end of the day, you get to keep, I don't know, maybe 5-10% of what you made. And if you, as a small developer, honestly, as you get bigger, maybe your cut gets, you have fixed costs. So your fixed costs, relatively speaking, are lower. But without getting too out in the weeds, if you're a small developer that doesn't sell a lot, Steam makes more money off of you than you do with your game. And I think that kind of scenario is completely unacceptable. It pisses me off. I don't know why people are over here defending Steam or any. Sony does it, Microsoft does it, Apple does it, Google does it. They all do 30%.
You know what I think?
Nintendo.
You know what I think it is? And I'm bringing this up because I think it's actually where my brain is kind of deducing everything. I think the reason why Steam charges 30% is because they will let you put whatever and let you charge whatever on their platform. Whereas Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, they're going to curate to a degree. Granted, Nintendo has been very sloppy lately with the eShop. But I think even with Epic Games, they're also being curated. Now, my best example of this, and I had to bring it back up on my phone so that way I could remind myself. There's a game on Steam called Pigeon in Hurry. And it looks like something you might see at the bottom of a TikTok video, like where they split it and someone's got a game they're playing on the bottom. It's literally a pigeon running down the street collecting something. These guys have the audacity to charge $65 for this thing.
Sure.
And it looks like maybe a PS3 game at best.
Yeah, and they'll sell maybe a few, but...
yeah, they might sell some as a joke, but it's the fact of you put out whatever you feel like, and Steam will just say, okay.
But still, even then, I don't think it's... I think the 30% is bad. And I want to...
Oh, I do too. I'm just saying that.
And I want to bring this into context that if you want to say you support developers and everything, the Epic Game Store, as much as it's garbage, they only charge 12% to 5%, somewhere in there. I think it was 5% last I heard. I don't have that verified.
Right.
But regardless, and you also get is it 5? I think it's 5% if you use the Epic. I don't know. I know there's supposed to be some. Yeah. No. The software, like if you actually use the development tools, you get something of a discount too.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what all those things are. I just know if you use their store and use their their development tools, you get something of a discount. But they charge way less. So if you want to support developers, you buy on Epic.
Right, and that's something we've actually brought up before on the podcast. But again, I think it does come down to the idea of Steam is going to take 30% because they won't fight you on what you want to put up there. Whereas I think there is at least some level of curation over at Epic.
I don't know about that for sure. I mean, the fact of the matter is that even if what you're saying is true, it doesn't absolve them of charging.
Oh no,
30%.
not at all. But I'm just saying, but that's the explanation. That's what not the excuse, the explanation.
Okay, well, I still will reject that explanation as being sufficient. I just want to put it out there that I'm against that being charged against the developers in especially small developers. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, the same thing. Again, the same thing with Unity. Like, there's one thing to be charging a yearly fee to use your program for developmental tools. That's fine, but you also had a free-to-use version. Now, if somebody puts that free-to-use version to good use and puts out a product, you're now going to charge them based off what they've sold and what they've installed. That's wrong, because it's just the whole idea of it's a free-to-use version. Now, if you're going to make money off the paid version, you're going to make money off the paid version. That's fine, because you've already stated it's paid. You have to pay to use it. But now that that's happening, they're going to get dinged even further because Steam's going to take their cut, or Epic, even if it's a little bit, Epic's taking their cut. I would not be surprised if you start seeing developers strongly pushing their own web pages to sell their game in the future.
I know.
I know some do already, but I'm talking like, you want to buy it from my web page because that's where the best discount's going to be.
Yeah. What I'm probably going to start doing here is buying stuff. If I buy a PC game, it's going to be on GOG.
GOG, Humble Bundle.
Yeah, you will. If you buy something on GOG, you actually kind of own it.
Right, but
electronically speaking, you can make backups, among other things. If you buy something on Steam, you're simply buying a license. With GOG, it feels like you're buying something more than a license.
True, but with the reason I mentioned Humble Bundle is because that money's going to charities.
Sure.
So that's a very worthwhile cause.
Yes.
So.
At any rate, rant over. I just at the end of the day,
I'm just glad you had a rant on this podcast now too, instead of just me.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm not the crazy one.
Before I actually end the rant, I just want to state what I was actually arguing against, just to be perfectly clear.
Sure.
The idea that you are paying 30% for something on through Steam, or Steam is so good because that it's worth the 30% that you're paying. You're not paying it. The developers are. Plain and simple.
Right. And I can see your point. At the same time, I can also almost argue where they're coming from, because let's just use us as an example. Okay. We are on YouTube. If we get big enough that YouTube wants to give us sponsorships and advertisers and things like that, YouTube is going to take a cut of what we earn just for using their platform.
Yep.
But they haven't done a darn thing.
Yep.
That's kind of what Steam is. Steam is like the YouTube of video games.
Sure. But I guess what I'm saying is that it needs to be reasonable. Your cost to host is not such that you need 30%.
Yeah, but that's why I brought up YouTube, because sometimes the cuts are not reasonable.
Yes.
So, anyhow.
All right, well,
rant over.
Speaking of stuff that you might view as unreasonable, depending on your point of view, we have the categories and nominees for the Video Game Awards, or
the 2023
Game Awards. Now, I think if they're gonna say the Game Awards, they should include like board gaming, among other things. Let's be. We should be all inclusive of all games.
There are no board games on the list. I know.
Yeah. Well, they can.
This year's greatest game of the year, Candyland.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's get this one out of the way, because I really have a gripe with this category alone. Game of the year. Their nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Not a single one of those games came out before the halfway mark this year.
Sure.
So how could they be Game of the Year? They haven't even been out long enough to verify their status.
You know that technically none of these games have been out for a year by the time the award's given, because they all came out in 2023.
Except for the fact that certain games
I guess if you want to count Resident Evil 4.
Well, okay. No, but I'm talking like just they haven't had the year to run to really do anything. Some of them have only been out a month. A month at best. And they're already up for Game of the Year? That's a little ridiculous. I think that's the hype train getting involved. You're
saying that there's a lot of recency bias in this list? Is that what you're getting at?
Absolutely. Like, believe me, I'm all excited for Alan Wake 2, but that game just came out recently. That should not be a Game of the Year. Hi-Fi Rush came out in January. That should absolutely be on this list. Now, I know Hi-Fi Rush is in a lot of these lists, but it should be on Game of the Year. It is one of the best games, and it came out in freaking January.
Yeah.
So I'm disappointed with their Game of the Year list.
Okay. Well, let's just say you had to be the judge, which one would you do?
Oh gosh, no, that's not fair. That's not fair because I've only played one of them.
Sure.
And I haven't even that'd be Tears of the Kingdom. However, I'm definitely excited for Mario Wonder. I have yet to play it. Excited for Spider-Man 2, have not played it. Excited for Alan Wake 2, have not played it. Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know if I have that kind of time in my life. And Resident Evil 4 we played a little bit of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, out of this list, I kind of want to lean on Spider-Man 2. Just from what I saw from the original trailers, that probably got me the most excited as a game. So I would probably go with that one.
I have not played it yet. There's going to be a physical version of the game coming out next year. But everything I've seen...
People love Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
right?
Baldur's Gate. I would not be surprised if Baldur's Gate wins.
Yeah, I mean, okay. If I was to guess who would win versus what I would pick, yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is probably a game of the year.
Yeah.
Now, we're not going to go through all the categories, but they are out there. Feel free to take a look at the lists. But yeah, there's just so much there. I know that Final Fantasy 16 was up for Best Soundtrack, I think. Is that right?
Best soundtrack?
Yeah.
Music.
Best score and music, sorry.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, and it's Final Fantasy 16.
Now that's good. I haven't heard the soundtrack for Final Fantasy 16, but I know that they do not slouch on their music.
Oh, dude, Final Fantasy music is great.
Yeah, but at the same time, Hi-Fi Rush, the whole point of that game is it's a music-based game. It's a fantastic soundtrack.
It sounds like Matt's game of the year is in fact Hi-Fi Rush.
It might very well be.
Well, we'll tell you guys later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in December when we're actually near the end of the year, because unlike other people, we like to get all the games in the year before we decide.
Well, we have an interesting list here for independent game.
Let's see what we got. Cocoon, Dave the Diver, I've heard is fantastic. Dredge. Okay, Sea of Stars, win.
I figured that's
I don't know what that other one is, Viewfinder, whatever, forget you. Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars wins. If Sea of Stars does not win Best Independent Game, I am going to be very upset.
But what's the best independent game and best debut independent game? What the heck is the difference? Is it that these new studios? Is that what the
that might be
is?
what it is. Yeah,
yeah,
because these are a lot of.
But Team 17,
Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower. People love Pizza Tower. Venba and Viewfinder again. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Best mobile game is probably Monster Hunter Now for you.
But dude, I didn't know Terra Nil was a mobile game. That's awesome. I might pick that up on my phone.
Okay.
But yeah,
that's best action game. Here's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of know what your number one game in here probably is.
You don't know, but that's actually a really great list.
Yeah. Actually, I still want to get Dead Island 2.
Okay, well, I was going to say, why don't you read off the list, since I read off the last one.
Armored Core 6, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2.
Honestly, that's a great list.
Yeah.
Armored Core, mwah, chef's kiss. Dead Island 2, haven't played it, but I love Dead Island. Ghost Runner 2, have not played it, but I love Ghost Runner. Hi-Fi Rush, we just talked about it. Remnant 2, I played Remnant from the Ashes with my brothers. We played it all the way through, and they were disappointed with the game at the end. I had fun the entire time. So I was actually looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great list.
I mean, Armored Core 6 is great. I know that for sure.
Oh, yeah. But out of those 5, which one would you pick?
Which one would I pick?
Yes.
Probably Armored Core.
Me too.
Yeah.
Even though I love Hi-Fi Rush, I would say Hi-Fi Rush is best game of the year. Armored Core 6, best action game. Absolutely. Action adventure.
Yeah.
LOA 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's a lame list.
Spider-Man 2 and Resident Evil 4? I don't know if Alan Wake and Resident Evil belong on this list. They're more horror games.
Right, but at the same time, this just feels like a copy-paste of best game of the year, And I think that's lame.
We'll just move along then.
Yeah. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
See, I don't know if when I think like RPG, I mean, I guess RPG is such a
those are all RPGs,
encompassing thing.
Yeah, those are all RPGs. Yeah. Lies of P is a Souls-like game. Souls-like games are all RPG. So out of that list, Sea of Stars.
You think so?
Absolutely. It was, dude, I'm serious. That game is so amazing. And if you have not taken the opportunity, folks, to play Sea of Stars, make it a priority sometime before the end of the year to just get involved into it, to dip your toes into it, and just love what happens from it. Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, I'll want to give it a shot, but
Best fighting game, huh? God of Rock.
I
didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1, which I want to play soon.
Mm-hmm.
Nickelodeon All-Stars. That's
All-Star Brawl 2. Actually, I've seen footage of this game being played. That game actually looks really good.
okay.
Like for a Smash Brothers clone, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pocket Bravery. I don't know anything about that. But Street Fighter 6 is a great game.
I'd be surprised if Street Fighter 6 doesn't win that one.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got here you think that we're interested in? Best multiplayer: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Wonder. I don't know how Diablo 4 got on that list. It's definitely not the best multiplayer, especially this year. I mean, no, it's... to be fair, it's had some good stuff about it, but overall, it is not the best multiplayer game. It is not really... It doesn't scream multiplayer friendly. It doesn't scream anything friendly, to be honest.
Most anticipated game.
Oh, here we go.
See, I'm not sure about this. Putting this as even a thing.
I vote yes.
Final Fantasy 4 Rebirth.
7
Rebirth, sorry.
Yep.
Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
I'm excited for all of those.
Are you?
I am.
I would say Final Fantasy and Hades are the only worthy. Well, Tekken.
No, dude. Trust me. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is going to be awesome.
Oh, man. We'll skip over the esports stuff.
Yeah.
Although I think
really
esports deserves to be at the Game Awards.
No, absolutely. And it's going to be, that's a great thing that they get some recognition. Even Content Creator of the Year, I don't know if I exactly agree with that as a concept, but the fact that at least content creators are getting mentioned at the awards is a good thing.
Yep. So that's our quick overview of the nominees for the Game Awards.
Absolutely. You guys take a look at the list. Maybe we'll try and get this link so you guys can take a look at what we saw. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a heads up.
Yep.
So with that, I think we've pretty much exhausted ourselves.
For this time.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Again, thank you guys so much. Happy holidays, happy beginning of holidays, and just enjoy your games, enjoy time with family and friends, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.
Later.